Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Winston-Salem, North Carolina for today's first ACC game between your Wake Forest Demon Deacons and the visiting rivals of Duke University. For Duke, they come into this contest at 2-3. For Wake Forest, they come in at 2-2 after last week's win against Eastern Michigan in Michigan. So with that said, first ACC test of the year, and it's a home game. Should be in our favor, right? Well, Duke, they're not a bad team. Don't count them out of anything. But Wake Forest, they're not a bad team either. You've seen it. You've seen them beat Notre Dame. You've seen them beat Clemson. It's a pretty even game, let's be honest, all the way through down in the middle. So today, what are we looking for? Well, we're looking for Desmond Wortham, obviously. We're looking for Dustin Thomas, and we're looking for the Wake Forest defense to stand strong. So let's get it started. Duke will have the ball midfield, 5 minutes left in the first quarter after each team goes 3 now on some very lengthy drives. And this one is caught by Mark Graham from Riley here to pick things up. Riley Ferguson now on the run, but he's not going anywhere. At least that's what Wake Forest thought, because Riley Ferguson, compared to Andrew Luck from the NFL in this game, he is coming in 2 years removed from high school. He's going to be here a while, but he got compared to Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson, mobile, strong quarterback. Speaking of strong, how about that throw and then the leap of faith taken by the tight end? And guess what? Duke, from the 10, they're in. Touchdown Blue Devils. Dennis Ross, the halfback, out on the flat. And Riley Ferguson is making something happen already. 7-0 Duke pending the PAT. Kick is up and good. And Duke already, early on in the game, takes a 7-0 lead. Studio update. How about some more ACC plays? Boston College, they defeat Idaho in BC 30-27. Boston College improves to 3-2 on the year. Back to our game at BB&T Field. Wake Forest down 7, 1st and 10. 2:30 to play in the first quarter. Desmond Wortham, his first run that you guys will see on video at home, wherever you're watching this. That is a nice pickup of 6, and then from 1st and 10 to the end zone. Dustin Thomas followed his blockers, and the speed said the rest. All the way gone. That is an impressive run. Dustin Thomas, you don't see him break those out, or at least you haven't seen him break those out all year long. But right here, the hole was big enough, followed his blockers, and a 3-play 76-yard drives result in a Wake Forest touchdown. We're now tied at 7 apiece, and that would end the first quarter. So, end of 1 from Winston-Salem. Duke 7, they're threatening with the ball. Wake Forest 7. Wake Forest did win the coin toss, not tip-off, and they elected to kick. So, keep that in mind for the second half. Second quarter now. 2nd and 7 after that 3-yard pickup. Now on that 2nd and 7, Riley Ferguson, yeah, he can run too. Doesn't pitch him. Maybe would have a better shot at more yardage, but he keeps himself 10-yard run. That is a first down. Now on that first down, this is Jason Johnson. He picks up a 20-yard catch and run. And Duke threatening already in the Wake Forest 5. Ferguson, the quarterback keeper, stumbling on the words. He's in. You saw there on the very far right side of the D-line, Dunn. He tripped over a fallen Duke player. So Dunn couldn't get it done. No pun intended. And Duke now up 14-7. Wake Forest with the ball. 5 minutes to play, and they are in Duke territory. Dustin Thomas again, scampering 25 yards. He alone is over 100 yards. That was his 102nd rush yard of the game. 3rd and 2, big third down. Desmond Wortham converts when you need him to the red-shirted senior this year. 3 minutes left and then they break it down all the way to 3rd and goal with 1:20 to play. Wortham touchdown, 8th on the year, and that is a tie ball game pending the PAT once again. Great blocking, great protection, and Wortham did the rest even though it was from 5 yards out. King's kick is good, and at half, we are tied 14-all. So, first half, keys, notes, pros, cons. Let's break it down really quick. Pros, Dustin Thomas, O-line protection, and Desmond Wortham. Cons, D-line, basically the exact opposite. We're not covering the wide receivers. We're not playing press coverage. We're letting the receivers for Duke get open. So, if we can just change those 3 things, keep our 3 things going, and Dustin Thomas hopefully doesn't get hurt, it might be a good day for Wake Forest. They are looking to go 3-2, and more importantly, this is their first ACC conference game as previously mentioned, so that would help them in conference standings in the end where we go to the conference championship or maybe even another bowl game. Halftime stats, 208 passing yards for Duke to Wake Forest 45. Wake Forest does lead rushing yards 131 to 64 in time possession, 13-24 for Wake, 6-36 for Duke. No turnovers by both teams. That's a good sign if you are the coach or OC for both teams. Another con on Wake Forest, so play the pass 9 out of 10 times. And for Duke, the exact opposite, play the rush 9 out of 10 times. We'll see what happens in the second half, but first half, we're all tied at 14. First play of the 3rd quarter, Riley Ferguson 3-step drop. He is going to find his man Baker, and Baker gets more than a baker's dozen. He actually gets 24 yards on that little miscue by Wake Forest. And then from 1st and 10, 2nd and 5 after a 5-yard rush, Ferguson finds his man TJ Douglas on the sideline, tiptoe inbounds, and then they would drive all the way down again to the Wake Forest 10. Ferguson looking, wide open man in Baker. Daryl Baker right now just cooking up the Wake Forest defense. And from there, the big boy, Mark Graham at halfback. He would easily punch it in untouched, and Duke is now up 6. PAT is up, and the Blue Devils are up now 7. 21-14. Had to wait on that. 8:20 to play in the 3rd. Let's go 7:58 in the 3rd now. Just a couple plays later, actually 1 play later, Duke on defense looking for an answer, and they would get it. Dustin Thomas, we said no miscues or don't get hurt. We're going to be fine. There's the first miscue by either team all day. Mid-3rd quarter almost, about 2 minutes out. But Duke responds, picks up the fumble from Thomas, and Duke all of a sudden up 2 possessions. So, Wake Forest, they've been in this boat many times, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to tell them that. They are going to try and rebound, and it's going to start with their main man, number 24. Desmond Wortham picks up a first down there on the slip screen. And down 14, well, somehow we're making plays like this. Tyree Harris double covered. Honestly, I don't know how Dustin Thomas completed it, but you know what? We're not questioning it, because on 1st and 10, it is going to be Ryan Caldwell bringing it all the way to the 1. Thought he got in on initial impact and initial replay, but the replay did show, in fact, his knee did hit the ground at the 1. So, 1st and goal, Ryan Caldwell. He really didn't have a big day, but he made the big catches when we needed him to. On 1st and goal, now 3rd and goal after 2 failed attempts. Tyree Harris, who somehow caught that magic throw of a pass from Dustin Thomas, catches this one a little bit easier, wide open, eats it up for the home fans, and now Wake Forest only down 7. Studio update, first one of the evening. Let's go to Miami, Florida. Navy, Miami, number 11 Miami, that is. Only up 3 over the Navy midshipmen. Yeah, that might be a problem if you're Miami. Both teams coming in 4-1, but 4th quarter, anything can happen. We'll keep an eye on that game as along with this game. Wake Forest ball, Duke 3 and out. 8:40 to play in the final quarter. That is Anthony Johnson making his first catch of the day. He would only finish with one catch for those 12 yards. But, again, players coming up when they're needed. Desmond Wortham 7-yard rush on 2nd and 6. And on 2nd and 9, Dustin Thomas, feeling the pressure, would roll to his right cutback. And he would pick up 8-31. Wortham gets a first down. And now on 2nd and 6, 4:50 to play, time winding down. It's going to be a Matt Burns kind of quarter. He finishes with 3 catches. But right there, that was his second. Gets him close enough for this. Play action, Curtis Crosby, touchdown. And we have ourselves a tie game, ladies and gentlemen. Down 14, Wake Forest defense stood up strong, and they have now tied it. Final studio update from Miami, Florida. We said it might be a little close there, and oh boy, Navy midshipmen win 34-33 in an upset. Navy goes to 5-1. Back to our game, we go to overtime. Wake Forest had a chance to win it, but they missed a game-winning 49-yard field goal. So in overtime, Baker, he's back at it again, and Daryl Baker picks up a first down. However, Duke would stall out like a broken down car. 2nd and 13, 4-yard reception, and then on 3rd and 9, how about Burns? You haven't heard much of him except that leaping play way back in the first quarter, and yeah, he makes a big 3rd down play. So, Duke gets a field goal, Wake Forest can win with a touchdown. Desmond Wortham wastes no time in making that happen, or at least getting a very good start for that to happen. Follows his blockers just like Dustin Thomas did on that long 80-yard scamper. And then Dustin Thomas, just speaking of him, goal line, touchdown, game over. Go home happy, folks. Dustin Thomas solidifies the comeback in Winston-Salem this evening. On a wet evening it was, in fact. No fumbles except Dustin Thomas's one that went Duke up by 14. And I don't know, Wake Forest just comes back. They play strong, and they get the rivalry win. They get the conference win. More importantly, they get the win. 3-2 on the year now, and for Duke, they fall to 2-4. So, player of the game, no question, Dustin Thomas. That'll wrap it up from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, here in BB&T Field. Your final, once again in overtime, Wake Forest 34, Duke 31. Thank you for watching this presentation of Wake Forest football. Be sure to click on the video to your left or to your right, or if you're new here, subscribe to JT Plays for daily gaming content. We'll see you later from Wake Forest. Take care.